Right, Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And I want to read 2 Corinthians 2:11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Okay. And what I want to talk about is idolatry again, but not just idolatry, but that which comes with it. You know, the rites and the rituals that that take place on a daily basis to venerate these idols. You know, along with that, their symbols and their images. You know, which permeate this entire society. And you got two types of people in this world. You got people who are ignorant to the idolatry, ignorant to the rites and the rituals, even if they're taking part. All right. And then you got those that are in the know. And those people tend to be privy to even more and higher level rites and rituals. And those type of people tend to be in the upper classes of society. Because once you get to a certain level in the society and you start moving and shaking in a certain pay bracket, the people that you're going to surround yourself, or you have to surround yourself with, they're all initiated. The majority of those people are witches and warlocks, per se. Like, they know exactly what the deal is. They take part in the not only the rituals that they do in public that the average person doesn't understand, but the rituals that they do in private, and which go into sex, magic, and then it goes from there upward and upward in all manner of odious works of witchcraft, even onto pedophilia and child and human sacrifice. All right, because that's the path of idolatry. That's where it leads to. The deeper you go down that rabbit hole, and the further you want to make it up in this man's society, because this society is governed by these idols and the worship of these idols and these rites and the rituals. The further you go up in this man's society, or you want to get up, you're going to have to get involved with these rites and rituals. All right, that's why marvel not when certain things come out about certain people. Basically, they're all into it, because that's just what you got to do if you want to serve these idols, and if you want to receive the so-called blessings, the monetary blessings, or whatever not that you want from these idols. And we're not ignorant to this. All right. That's why when these people, they set up their companies, they're going to call their companies by particular names. They're going to create their logo. The names might reflect the particular idol that they want to worship. Case in point, I'm going to give an example. Nike. Now, you might think that they just chose a name because it is they chose the name because they like the sound of the name. No, the people that founded the company Nike, they didn't choose the name Nike by accident. They chose the name Nike because they worship the god Nike. Okay, Nike is the Greek goddess of victory. And believe you me, when they were founding this company, they were doing rites and rituals, both publicly and secretly, to bless this business. And that's why Nike is where it is today. And you best believe that they continue to do these rites and rituals to sustain the company. And a lot of these athletes that you see get these deals with Nike don't ever think that part of that deal is they have to make sacrifices to the goddess Nike, however that may entail. All right, you ain't getting nothing free in this world. All right, that's one example. All right, what's another example you'll say? Let's look at NASA. This is governmental, right? NASA. All the space programs were named after a Greek god. You think that was an accident? All right. Starbucks. You look at the Starbucks company logo. It's the Queen of Heaven. All right. And you think the owners of Starbucks and the upper echelon within Starbucks don't know that? Of course they know that. And they do the rites and the rituals that go along with worshiping the Queen of Heaven, even unto blood sacrifice. That's why Starbucks is a successful company. Because if you wanna get up there in this world, you gotta worship the devil in all his forms, and you gotta do the rites and the rituals. Because as it is on the right hand side, it's the opposite but the same on the left hand side. There's rites and rituals involved. And I'm gonna get a scripture, and then I'm gonna get the words rites and rituals. Let me just get a scripture real quick. Right, so this is the book of Sirach 33 and 13. It says, as the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so a man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as liketh him best. Good is set against evil, right? And the way of all these idols is evil. All right, the way of idolatry is evil. The good is the way of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And life is against death, okay? The way of idolatry is death. As it is written, the wages of sin is death, right? And the scripture told you that idolatry was the beginning of sin, the beginning of wickedness. That's the beginning of pride, when a man's heart is turned away from his maker. All right? It says, so is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another. All right, so like you got on the right hand side, you got the Most High set up an order, and he set up experts, priests, and the priests are supposed to be the ones with the knowledge of the Most High. They got the knowledge of the rites and the rituals. When you go in the ancient world, if you wanted to know how to worship the Most High and how to perform the rites of the Most High the correct way, sending up them sacrifices and all that good stuff, you would go to a Levite, because the Levites would be extremely versed and knowledgeable in regards to the worship of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, that was pretty much all they did. That was their occupation. That was their thing, to know the ways of the Lord in perfection. You understand? And so they would lead men. That's why the priests would be among all the tribes, so that they could be the reference point to that knowledge. Okay, the priesthood. Now, if you go into any other society that worship idols, they had the same thing. They had a priesthood. Even when you go into Egypt, All right. You had the royal, they had the two upper echelons of Egypt. You had let's see, Exodus. You had Salakia. You had the royal house, and just as powerful as the royal house pretty much was the priests. All right. Now let's get an example for you here in Egypt. Where is it? Let's get straight to the point. Right, so there's an account here. Exodus 7 and 8. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, when Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, shew a miracle for you, then thou shalt say unto Aaron, take thy rod and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent. And Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as the Lord had commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent. And Pharaoh called the wise men and the sorcerers. Right? That's the priesthood. Now the magicians of Egypt, they also did in like manner with their enchantments. For they cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents. But Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods. Yeah? Because the priests and the men of the Lord is greater. It's true. All right. But the point is, these sorcerers, these magicians, they represent that priesthood that was in Egypt. And if you study Egyptology, unlike a lot, you see, when you go to the Black consciousness community, they like to romanticize everything. When are you gonna see a show from these guys showing all the rites and the rituals that these Egyptians used to do in regards to all these different gods? And a lot of times it involved bestiality, orgies, all kind of odious works, man. That's why the Lord told Israel, hey, the things that the Egyptians do, you ain't gonna do, because they were doing all manner of odious works of witchcraft. And so were the Canaanites. Okay, in fact, let's get that in the scriptures. All right, the Canaanites were into all manner of odious work of witchcraft, even unto blood sacrifice. Yeah, which that comes hand in hand with idolatry. All right, the higher level you are, that's where that's where you're gonna end up. Human sacrifice. All right, now let's get that in the Wisdom of Solomon, the 12th chapter. One of my favorite chapters, man. It explains a lot of edification for me, and for you. Is Wisdom of Solomon 12. All right. And I'm going to get from verse 3. It says, for it is of thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land. Now, who were they? The Canaanites. And they were idol worshippers, man. They had many idols, beginning with Molech, but they had many idols. And that's another thing. Like most ancient societies, even these societies today, they had principal gods, and then they also had many gods that they worship. And it's the same thing with America. America has many gods that it worships and it reverences under many different names, man. Just like Babylon. Okay? And a lot of people are worshiping these idols unwillingly, or not unwillingly, unknowingly. And a lot of people are doing it willfully and knowingly. All right? It says like these pharmaceutical companies. First of all, every time somebody dies from the drugs that they make, that's a blood sacrifice, man, onto their gods. And what are they getting from it? They're getting filthy rich. Them owners and shareholders and them pharmaceutical companies are getting filthy rich off the suffering of people, man. Think it's a joke? All right, go on. You're going to find out that these people that you look up as upstanding people in society are nothing but a bunch of pagans, man. Filthy, disgusting pagans, man. A lot of these people you're looking at, and I ain't just talking about these celebrities. These celebrities are just one part of society that happens to be pushed in your face on a daily basis. Yeah, all these captains of industry and these big bad boy businessmen with their yachts and all of them are nothing but a bunch of witches and warlocks. They all seek to diviners, man, and soothsayers, man, for everything. A lot of them, they seek it for everything, man. Bill Clinton and especially these politicians really ain't nothing but a bunch of businessmen anyway. There ain't no politician that's not a businessman. They're all businessmen, pretty much 99% of businessmen who decided to go to extend their business into politics. That's what it is, man. All right. And then you got to be up in them circles. It says, whom thou hatest for doing the most odious works of witchcraft, yet pedophilia, because sex magic, yeah, you go with sex magic, it has many different facets. Okay. The highest level of sex magic is homosexuality and pedophilia. They call the penetration of a little boy's anus the key of David. If you don't believe me, you could look this up. Now you get pedophiles that do it because they're just generally just sick people. And then you get people who are sick people, but they're doing it in the service of idols, man. That's what's going on in the Catholic Church. But you see, they don't want the people to understand that. This is why it keeps happening, because when you go into the Catholic Church, you stupid people that go in there, you in your vain mind believe that Catholicism is the worship of the Son of God, which is in the Bible, and you're worshiping the God in the Bible and you're following the Bible. And hell, they might even read out the Bible from time to time. But Catholicism, that is not the foundation of it, and that's not what it's all about. Catholicism is the worship of many different pagan entities, beginning with the Queen of Heaven and the son of the Queen of Heaven. All right, the worship of the moon and the sun. And what came with that worship in the ancient world on a higher initiated level was pedophilia, homosexuality, as the scriptures say here, the odious works of witchcraft. So why are you marveling that these priests are being caught out for doing odious works of witchcraft? The problem is that you don't acknowledge it as to what it is. The reason these priests were doing it and then they were getting promoted and transferred is because these acts that they were doing were actual rites and rituals, man, which is a part of the Catholic Church. It's just not overtly a part of the Catholic Church. These are hidden rites and rituals they're doing towards their idols. You people who just walk into the church, you do the rites and rituals to the idols, but you're on a lower level. Like when you're doing, the so-called Holy Communion and all that crap, that stuff, that's not biblical. That's all rites and rituals to the idols. But you don't know that. But you don't also know that there's more rites and rituals, but they don't show you all that. You got to be initiated and you got to go through the stages. And then they're going to show you the real stuff behind closed doors, the blood sacrifices. But you don't understand that, man. And that don't just go for the Catholic Church. That goes for all these different churches. Once you get up to the higher levels, it starts getting weird as hell, because the people start finding out what's really going on. And then the ones that really dive into it, they end up on TV, and Satan rewards them. They become millionaires. They get the ability to deceive more people. They get more followers. They get more money because they got higher level demons working with them. How do they get them higher level demons to work with them? They perform the rites and the rituals, man. I think this is a blood clot game. This ain't no game, man. This is real life. This is real shit. What we're trying to tell you here, man. If you don't know, man, then you take your kids to these fucking demons, man. Trust your children with these fucking priests. These people are idolaters, man. You know what the hell idolatry is about? Well, let's read it. It says, and also, it says, whom thou hatest for doing the most odious works of witchcraft and wicked sacrifices. Yet into going up into child sacrifice. And that's why all these children keep disappearing. Because you got all kinds of people from across all different industries and areas of life who they're priests that they're working with. If they wanna get that job, if they wanna make that business successful, they say, well, if you really wanna take it to that level, then you know what you got to do, right? And this you see, it sounds crazy to you people that's in the West because you've been hidden. It's been hidden from you. The reality of the world you live in is so hidden. But you talk to somebody from Nigeria, you talk to someone from the islands about Obia and Judge, and they'll tell you, look, yeah, man, them man, they know this. Like, this is what people do. When they go to the Obia, man, when they go to the Santa Maria, they'll tell you that's the highest price you can pay. If you want to get something out of this world, you got to pay for it. The highest price you could pay is someone else's life. You think this is a blood clot game? All right. The innocence of a child. Like I said, they dubbed it the key of David. That's how wicked these people are, man. Yeah. Then they'll make products for children that kill children, that hurt children, and even that becomes a sacrifice for them. Why do you think, man? Why do you think McDonald's is still going? Why do you think all these companies that are actually harming people, that are hurting people, they're hurting the earth, but they're still making money? Because it's all part of the sacrifices, man. So them demons are working with them, and they're receiving the reward of this world, because Satan is the rewarder of this world. The reward of the righteous isn't in this world; it's in the next world. If you wanna receive the good things of this world, then guess what? You better get yourself initiated into one of these lodges and work your way up, man, and do your blood sacrifices. And guess what? You're going to get rich. But guess what, man? Hey, when the Most High bring that judgment, no farmer oil can save you. Your Obia man can't save your star. Trust me. Your Obia man ain't going to deliver you from the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So, hey, deal with that. All right. It says, and also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh. Yeah, cannibalism. Eating people, eating their hearts to take their spirit, take their power. Well, you think that don't go down? All right. And the feast of blood, vampirism, with their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew. Like I said, they have priests that lead these ceremonies, that lead these things. And that priest could be living a double life. That priest could be your fucking dentist, man. You go in and he's a successful dentist, well respected, but at nighttime he's a high level fucking priest, leading ceremonies, sacrificing children and boning them in the ass, man. You don't know what's up out here, man. All right. And the parents that killed with their own hands, souls destitute of help. All right. Hey, that's why we were told. Let's get that back up where it was. Hold on. Let's get Deuteronomy to 18 and 9. It says, when thou art come into the land which Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. Right? And these abominations are being committed not only by our people, but it is the way of America, it is the way of Britain, it's the way of the West. The West is filled with these abominations, man. Absolutely filled with pedophilia and ritually done. I'm talking about these things being done as a ritual, being done in groups. See, whenever they catch one of these guys like Sandusky, Jimmy Savile, and it has to be brought out, they always make sure they make it look like, they make sure that when the investigation's all said and done, he was just acting alone and no, man. Jimmy Savile was a fucking handler, man. Jimmy Savile was part of a giant pedophile ring with all manner of celebrities and politicians and the royal family all in there. Same with Ron Harris, right? The Cray twins, they were in on it too. Because what happens is a lot of these what you think are criminal fucking gangs that are against the government, a lot of these criminal or organized so-called criminals, these dudes are compromised, and a lot of them they're allowed to do what they're doing, and they not only do they have to pay, but then a lot of time they have to pay in children. See, that's why a lot of these cartels and a lot of these mafias will actually kidnap children, young virgin boys, and they transfer them over to people to do rituals, man. They will supply the cattle, so to speak. Let me see what's going on out there. Oh, milkman. Nah, nothing. There's a beer police was about that to that, man. Anyway, all kind of sick shit happening, man. All right, that's why you shouldn't want no part in this fucking world, man. All right, they send these men to die in these pointless fucking wars and build a fucking memorial, and you think it's a memorial. Nah, man, it's a fucking sacrifice. What they built a fucking obelisk. You know, it's always some obelisk or some phallic symbol, and that every time you come back and they're basically channeling the energy of that blood sacrifice they made for the New World Order, man. All these wars and all this stuff are really just sacrifices in their eyes, in the eyes of the elite. It's sacrifices. The deaths of World War I, the deaths of World War II were blood sacrifices for the New World Order, man. But you fucking stupid people don't even know that, man. You don't even know what it is. That's why the Queen turns up at them on the Memorial Day to lay the wreath. Do you know what the fuck a wreath is? She turns up to lay the wreath by the obelisk. Let's see if I can find a clip, man. See what the Queen, she come to lay the wreath for remembrance. Right now, this is a big ritual celebrating a blood sacrifice, but the majority, a lot of the people that are in the know, they know what's going on. But the majority of the public, they don't know that, man. They think we're just remembering the dead and their service. Nah, the Queen don't give a fuck about their services, man. What she cares about is the blood sacrifice, man, for her new world order. All right, it says a solemn ceremony. Yeah, it's a rite. It's a ritual. And they're planning another major sacrifice for the new world order. But guess what? It ain't gonna work. There ain't enough blood in the world that's gonna establish a new world order. All right, and they do it all the time, man. All right, what do you see here? Another phallic.
Sign up in seconds with Google or Facebook and find your new start today. Download the read.co.uk app now.
The vagina symbol down in the phallic symbol. Pagan ritual. But you know, there you go, man. Anyway, it says, when thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire. Yeah, we ain't supposed to be doing fucking human sacrifices and all that shit, man. Pedophilia and, you know, Batimanism and all that, man. Sex magic. That's why even, what's his name, had a song called Sex Magic. I hate to I think it was Sierra and Justin Timberlake. People are nothing, they're pawns they get used by the super elite, man. They're nothing but prostitutes. People need to understand that these celebrities that you see, there's men that are so powerful and rich. To them, these people are just easy pickings, man. If they want a piece of this, they're going to use them as toys. They're nothing more than toys, man. They're products. These people are nobodies, man. You got people out there that are trillionaires, man, that will piss on these, that literally do piss on these people, man, that you guys run around worshipping. They get pissed on and shat on. Beyonce, no, they get shat on, man, by old white Jews, man. Come here, let me shit in your mouth. Here's another million, is it? You know? Now fuck off. You people have no fucking idea what's going on out here.
2, 3, go. Yeah. Sierra.
This whole music, this love and sex magic, man, it's all referencing back to Aleister Crowley and sex magic. And it all goes back to what? Homosexuality. The highest level of sex magic is homosexuality and pedophilia. All right? See. Oh, boy. God. Oh, man. Okay. Or observer of the times. Yeah, these people are heavily into the astrologies and all these different things. All right? Even they retain the names of the planets as the names of gods. Mars. That's the name of an idol. Venus, Mercury. These are all names of Roman idols, man. Why are these names still being taught to your children? Why is it still being retained in a so-called Christian society? Does the Bible declare anything about Jupiter and Mars? You understand what I'm saying to you? The reason they retained all that because them people, like, they're into that. All right? They work around all that. Okay? When they launch certain albums, when they launch certain movies, man, you think they don't consult witches and warlocks for that, man? An observer of the times, an enchanter or a witch, okay? Or a charmer or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard or a necromancer that deal with dead things. That's another form of people having sex with dead bodies, which Jimmy Savile was doing. He was having sex with dead bodies too. That's another form of witchcraft. It's all odious. That's why the scriptures call it the odious works of witchcraft, man. That's why the white man used to be chopping off genitals, man, female genitals, and take it. What the hell was he doing? What the hell are you going to chop out a woman's vagina for? These sick freaks, man. What the hell are you going to do with that? Oh, God. It's all about witchcraft, man. That's what them men are dealing with out here. All right? And it's Christmas is coming up. All right? And that's what it is. A lot of you people are gonna go to these Christmas parties. Those are rituals. And what are you gonna do in that party? You're gonna go there looking to hook up. All these Christmas songs are talking about hooking up with people at Christmas. It's all about having sex. And you don't seem and buying all these gifts and presents. You're taking part in a ritual and you don't even know it. Because you're ignorant to what's really going on. But there's people out there that know what Christmas is all about, and they gonna make the most of it. They're gonna make the most of that winter solstice when it comes, because they're gonna want to bless their business. They're gonna want to bless their enterprise. So they seek to the priest to say, look, how do I do this properly? What's the most I can do to worship this god or that god? And they're gonna show them. So they're gonna do that child sacrifice or animal sacrifice, or do that orgy, with the children or whatever it is, man. You think this is a joke? That's gonna be happening in London, New York, all over. These little seedy little clubs they got underground, invitation only and all this shit. Yeah, that's the unfruitful works of darkness, man. Let's get that. Because it's all going to come to naught anyway. All right? That's why... I'm sure it was on... There we go. Yo, bun these people, man. Ephesians 5 and 10, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord. These rites and rituals, we reject them, man. We don't want to see these things no more. We don't want to hear about Nike. That's why this whole place needs to be dissolved, man. You can't even buy a bottle of rum. The bottle of rum is gonna have some demonic, because the people that set the thing up are a bunch of witches, man. So they put their wicked witch vibration over it. What the hell why has Bacardi got a vampire bat? Look at this, man. Bacardi got a fucking vampire back on the label, man. Yeah? Now we all got to drive these damn fucking cars, and all these fucking car companies are set up by witches and warlocks, man. Okay? Look at Alfa Romeo, man. Look at Alfa Romeo symbol, man. It's a fucking dragon eating a man or some shit. Where is it? It's fucking... you can't make this shit up, man. Look at that. It's a fucking... a dragon eating a man, right, with some cross on it. That's a man right there. And the snake is, or whatever it is eating the man. These people are a bunch of witches and fucking warlocks, man. There's another one, Dodge. It's a Baphomet. It's a fucking Baphomet, and you see the ovary. It's a vagina symbol. Look. These people are demonic, man. All right, all their products and all that, man, it's crazy. That's why we want to get out of here, man. Everything needs to be dissolved, because these witches and warlocks, they're in power and control. So they've basically morphed. They put their wicked demonic vibration on everything, man. You know. It says, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. Like I said, these people, they do different rituals and like the music awards. They're rituals, man. These performances that these artists do, it's all rituals, man. Rituals. But you don't know the rituals that they're doing behind closed doors, man. It's a shame to even speak of it. That's why, man, this place, and the shit that burns you the most is the pedophilia, man. There's a lot of people out there, like, oh, man, it's destroying souls. This place is too fucked, man. There's a lot of shit going on right now in this place, man. Being done by the people that you dummies out there you're looking at them for an answer. You punks out there, man. You people out there looking up to these people, man. You know, you look, man. Anyone that's so-called anyone in this society, man, you gotta leave them alone. All right, the real men of honor, of integrity, are not gonna be up in this society, man. This society is upside down. This society is where the vilest men are exalted, man. And that's not no fucking... You want to know the lowest, the cheapest people? They're the people that that are exalted in this society. All right, you see these sporting stars, right? And they blow up and their career's over, but you still see them on TV. What the hell do you think they'd be doing to still be in the spotlight? You think they get that shit for free? These are some desperate people, man. Weak-minded, desperate people that'll do anything. That sell their soul, man. It's a damn fucking shame. Look, man. Hey. Matthew 16:26. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? And what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Hey, the Most High is going to destroy... Look, man, all that... You get up in this place, man, and you decide that you're going to join in with what your buddies are doing, and you want to, you know, be an idolater, and you want to worship Baphomet, and now you want to blow rods. You want to drink cum, and you want to drink blood, and you want to do all this stuff because you don't want to live a so-called hard life. You don't want to live a mediocre life. You want all the things that these fuckheads can provide you. You want to run around on Instagram and stunt on other people like Floyd Batty Boy Mayweather. That's why that motherfucker can't stay off Instagram, because he knows, you know, it ain't just his talent that got him where he's at. If you think it's just his talent that allowed him to make the millions that he made, then I don't know what to tell you, man. That dude is a bona fide faggot. Him, 50, Broner, all these dudes, man, they've been initiated, man. They're boule. Them dudes is fag. Straight fag. Them dudes can't even sleep with themselves. And all that money and all that Esau gave them to open their ass up ain't gonna deliver them, man, when the time comes. You just remember that, man. When America implodes, all you sell out niggas, man, with your Lamborghinis and, you know, stunt white, you gonna be brought to nothing, man. You're gonna be brought to nothing. All right. For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. And those of you who have rejected him and have gone in the way of idolatry for reward, you're gonna receive your reward. This is death. But those of you who embrace knowledge and embrace the light and turn away from idolatry and turn back to the true worship of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua through Yahweh Shai, you're gonna be delivered and you're gonna be rewarded with freedom from wickedness and darkness, man, and corruption, into the kingdom of heaven, man, which is righteousness and the liberty of goodness and love for thy neighbor. You know what I'm saying? To hell with this place. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.